Welcome back for the first time in 2026 to Tuesday Night Lights. Show matches are back, and we got some bangers. Tonight is a stacked evening of Tuesday Night Lights on this fine January 27th. And regular on the stream, Sleeper's joining me for Akron Gold and Syracuse. Sleeper, before we get into all that, how you doing, my friend? How was your break?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been a little bit of a long break, but that just makes it all the better that we are back. And normally, I know I'm the nightcap person, but it feels good to be here to open up this first one of 2026 with you, Bepic.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I mean, this is a Syracuse team that took the CRL world by storm in the fall. We dubbed them Passion University. I think they dubbed themselves Passion University, and we adopted it against an Akron Gold team that looked stellar to conclude the fall. And now they've got Patty in place of Melio. Those two swapped places. Patty down to the B team. I assume it's a schedule thing. He's just so busy that he's dropping down, letting Melio get the opportunity. And now he's playing with an Akron Gold roster that was one of the most fun teams to watch in October and November in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, arguably Akron Gold is one of the best B teams in CRL. I mean, they are just such a stacked roster to begin with. And then considering they're a B team at that, you just super shocked having Patty drop down, and it's going to be a very fun time for these boys, and I'm excited to get this show match underway, Bepic. I don't know about you.
Well, here we go. Your wish is my command. Akron Gold versus Syracuse on their proper colors as well. Syracuse on the orange side, Akron Gold on the blue side. And I mean, I don't know where to start, honestly, when it comes to talking points in this series, because I think tonight's the biggest talking point over all of these show matches is going to be, how do these new teams look? Because 5 of the 6 squads playing this evening, as we've got Florida Southern and Michigan State playing next, they look different. They've changed out at least one player. And Syracuse is the only consistent team, but man, did they have a pretty good finish to the fall, and staying consistent with the amount of youth and chemistry that have already combined into one of the more exciting squads to watch. I think Syracuse could continue to build on the fall if they had.
Oh, for sure. And then continuing to grind out in the offseason that they've had as well of CRL, and just continuing to put that passion into gameplay and try and improve every single day. I'm excited for their spring run if we do end up getting CRL 26 for spring, or if we just have the alphabet soup leagues. But either way, I feel like there's going to be an even bigger step up from these guys at Syracuse here.
Well, either way, we're in for a treat. They've already played a couple of series. One kind of notable one against Michigan State in the Power Esports Conference, and they smoked them. Like, it was a 3-0 for Syracuse, and it wasn't particularly close outside of a few points. And I think that was more of a testament to how good Syracuse looks instead of Michigan State looking poor, because Michigan State ended up beating Boise State last night in a pretty good back and forth that went all the way to Game 5. So this is a good-looking team, but Akron Gold, like I say, one of the hottest rosters at the end of the fall semester, and now that they've introduced Patty, I think that's a whole element of speed and creativity that this squad has added, even though Melio already brought a ton of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know Akron Gold, they continue to dominate the Collegiate Conference Series, and they have since joining, I believe, like 4 seasons ago now. They've just continued to run the gauntlet over and over. No matter what teams join in, they just always find a way to win. And like you said, adding in Patty to this B team roster, it's just, I'm surprised we don't have any goals right now, but that's just a testament to how these defenses are playing. They're just figuring each other out at first, playing it a little bit safer than they probably normally would. But I mean, as the series continues, I expect some goals to be flying left and right here.
It's a slow start for both sides. Like, there hasn't been a ton of I think, mechanical ability being flexed quite yet. No one looks completely comfortable, which I think, to be fair, it's a new Akron Gold roster that could be still figuring some things out. And this is a show match. I think it's necessary context for everyone. Teams especially at the highest of levels. When these show matches first started out, with the teams that were playing on stream, they didn't get many opportunities on stream. And so these Night Lights show matches, when it was like SEL teams that are GC2, maybe GC3 rosters, like they were taking them pretty seriously. But for these top squads, this is practice, and because they will get opportunities to show off their stuff on bigger stages as this season goes along. So you do have to keep that in mind when evaluating these rosters, but it is nice to see where they're at and how they might be playing, as this is basically a streamed scrim with a little bit of a competitive element being a best of 7. But yeah, no goals 4 minutes in. Very kind of the players to let us have this podcast and really dig into what these teams are doing going into spring.
Yeah, one thing I've been noticing a lot is their rotations this first game have been very clean. The second that somebody gets in a tight spot, that second man is always there to cover it up. I noticed it earlier with Tiz going through the back wall, getting a demo. Or I'm sorry, it was Lesser on the back wall, but hold up. Patty's scoring here. Stopping my talking point. He's like, enough podcast talk. It's time to get some scoring going.
Yeah, that's, I mean, kind of an enforced error on Tiz's part. He plays the ball outwards from the net instead of into the corner, and that basically donates a shot to Patty, as Tiz had time on that ball, but played it out to the side, and that'll be an opener for Akron Gold, 4 minutes and change into game 1. These are best of 7 show matches for those that might be new here. So we're in for the long haul. Game 1 win doesn't always decide who's going to take the series. In fact, last semester, the first several broadcasts, Sleep, I don't know if you remember this, but basically every team that went out to a 1-0 or a 2-0 series lead ended up losing. So that's just how much a hot start doesn't impact the end of a series.
Yeah, it's a long series. You're just figuring the other team out for the first couple of games, figuring out the play style they're bringing to the table, downloading them, and then hopefully looking to break out in the next couple. But, I mean, still Syracuse keeping it this close. Only 1-0, and that is even at the 49-second mark when that goal was finally scored. And I also got to mention, who better first to score a goal in the series than Patty, the man first being introduced to this Akron Gold roster. And that's a great way to start for that Gold squad and for Patty himself being here.
And I'll actually tab away too quickly to look at the stats, but not a ton of offensive production, honestly. 6 shots on both sides. And I mean, even when Patty scored that goal, he was at 100 points 4 minutes in. There was not a lot happening on the ball. A lot of giveaways and a lot of space to do something with, but it's 2 defenses that I think are comfortable waiting on the offense to come to them. With how Bepic likes to play, we know that's something Syracuse is comfortable with. And then on the Akron Gold side, that was something that I touted Emilio for a lot as being the front man for patient, composed play. And now TJ kind of hypothesized this during Collegiate Exclusive, and I think I agree with him. But Jonathan will probably be the guy that's kind of playing more back, filling more of what Emilio was doing on this team previously. But that's why we're watching them in this show match, because I want to see kind of what their ideas are this early in this roster's lifespan.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to your point, Bepic, that first game, a lot of just possession, a lot of back and forth. And, I mean, I got to point out Oxy as well, making a great save towards the end there and keeping it from being a tie game, taking that calm, controlled path, catching the ball very cleanly, and then taking a nice, easy route away from the net to keep them in the lead towards the end of that game. But now in this second one here, I want to see a little bit more high-flying offense, a little bit more breakaways here, but I mean, only time will tell. Maybe we'll see some more control, and I mean, that's never a bad thing in these series for these teams either.
I mean, that was a stellar sequence from Oxy to set this possession up. He had a 50-50 win and a decent beat into the corner that took away what could have been a Syracuse counterattack, and so he's making his presence known here in game 2, and he was always a good talking point when discussing Akron Gold. Like, is Oxy activated? Because he could just play his baseline game, and Akron Gold could still win if Jonathan and Emilio were really commanding the pitch like they can. But when he is popping off, he's the type of player that can step up and absolutely dominate a series. But Patty had a chance right there to take the lobby over for a second, but his attempted double into triple tap doesn't quite connect. Stuffs into the crossbar, though. Akron Gold with a team pinch will get there first. So no harm done after Patty misses that first big opportunity. He makes up for it with Oxy here.
Yeah, I mean, Akron Gold, they've been having a lot more offensive chances here to start this game. I mean, there's a close one that Oxy had earlier, and then that missed double-triple tap from Patty, and then finally the setup one more time right into Oxy's hood. Patty used him, and then it just goal just like that.
Looking for more now. Oxy's on the ball, and Baby's the first man on the scene for Syracuse. Like I said, patient defender, but still very effective on the goal line as he was right there. And now up ahead, going for a cheeky skim out in front of the Akron Gold net. Syracuse are starting to let fly some of the mechanical opportunities they're known for creating. That's what they were doing against Michigan State in that series that I watched them play as part of the PEC regular season. That is how they were doing a lot of scoring on what was a pretty composed Michigan State back line for the most part, outside of when they had to defend against the high-flying Syracuse attack, which, unfortunately for Michigan State, was the bulk of that series. But right now, they're starting to set up more plays akin to what we saw from Syracuse last fall, though nothing's falling quite yet. They're still scoreless.
Yeah, able to open up a little bit more space in the offense, though, compared to last game. Jonathan trying for a breakaway chance here, but you like to see it from Syracuse, trying to find different lanes of scoring here compared to game number one, using the ceiling a little bit more high on the back wall and trying to break through those corners rather than just taking it right to the net and hoping that something will go through here. But again, this Akron Gold defense is still a testament to what a back line can do for your team. And as we go through halftime of this game, it's still 1-0. That's what the last one ended up being. And as Syracuse continues to heat up here, I don't know if there's going to be many more chances for the Akron Gold offense to try and break through.
Yeah, Syracuse really is building towards an equalizer, it feels like. And I mean, Akron Gold's a quality enough back line to where they definitely can stop Syracuse when they're looking like this, but that's such a good opportunity that there is no way we're going to see Oxy read that off the goal line. Had to land and read where the ball was headed after Lesser pops the ball towards Tiz, and Tiz just keeps the bunny hopping going, keeps the ball afloat, and will score over Oxy, and Syracuse do have their answer.
Yeah, Tiz was the first man there, and he may have missed the ball the first time, but Baby gets a nice read here right off of the kickoff. Lesser just keeping it center for him, Baby the beat out, and just knows where Patty was going with that, right into the back of the net. In the snap of the fingers, it's Syracuse on top, just like that.
Emilio's in chat as well. The fresh A-team starter popping in to see his old teammates, and I mean, probably knowing Akron, still teammates, depending on what event you're playing, because they do a mix and match a lot, but right now, seeing them fall down a little bit as Syracuse have really gotten going. I mean, you can see the tangible difference between how Syracuse was playing in game one, with the slow start they had in offense, the less mechanical play, the less ticky-tacky taps towards one another, compared to now, where they are trying to connect at all moments of the game, and more flip resets from Lesser, more of Gababy spectacular fireworks off the goal line. And, I mean, 2-1 now, their offense churning at a higher level. So, with a minute left, we'll see if they can keep it. But Akron Gold in the clutch. Let's see what they got.
Yeah, you can never count out Akron Gold. That is a very quality roster that can pull a goal out of the hat as quick as any other team here. And the offense as well. Jonathan, a chance there, saved by Lesser. Patty has another chance. Far side, Tiz is going to be there this time. Gababy also in support. Now Tiz trying to go the other way. Going to be stopped by Oxy for now. Now Patty with some control, a little bit of space. Over one, but can't get it towards the net anymore. And Lesser does a good job there of putting that ball into some open area, allowing him to break out. Possibly looking for the dagger here. Tiz will indeed get it with 12 seconds.
That's quite nice. I mean, Patty's miss right here is kind of what sets up this play, because Jonathan's trying to recover, and Oxy, with the time being what it's at, has to kind of bet on a Jonathan win right there to set up a quick counterattack, and the bet does not pay off. So looks like this series will be tied up after a bit of a formality, the final 10, especially after an orange kickoff win, and maybe forward. So we'll keep the Syracuse offensive trainer rolling even through this victory lap.
Just racking up the scoreboard a little bit more in the remaining few seconds here, but I mean, just a good shift from Syracuse in this game as well compared to the first. Still taking their time a little bit earlier on, but then finding a way to turn it up after Akron Gold scored early and turning that into some offensive opportunities for themselves, and then really starting to hammer down on that goal line and break out from that defense of Akron Gold.
Took them a while to get there first, but once Syracuse really did start to head down that hill, nothing felt like it was going to stop them. That's 8 shots, still outshot by Akron Gold here, which a little surprising as Akron put up 12 and Syracuse held onto a large chunk of possession that game as well. Field domination, actually no, field domination was in favor of Akron Gold. Man, I with the eye test looking like what it did, I really thought that Akron Gold was going to be stuck in their defensive end a lot more, but wasn't the case. Syracuse outpossessed, outshot, and they still put up 4.
I think that was credit to the first 2 minutes of the game as well for Akron Gold having that field domination, because for the majority of those first couple of minutes, it seemed like they were only in the orange half there, just bearing down on that net before they finally scored. And then it was pretty back and forth with Syracuse being able to have a couple quick counterattack goals, and then 1 or 2 lucky kickoff goals going in their favor as well. But game 3, this will be the real tester to see which team will take advantage of the series, if Akron Gold is going to be able to step up to how Syracuse is playing now on that offensive half.
I feel like I gotta defend Gababy's kickoff goal here, because he dunked the heck out of Patty Sleeper. That wasn't one of those lucky kickoff goals where he just sent it in without a defender. He actually had to read where Patty was going with that ball. So you gotta give some credit on that kickoff goal. But, you know, the opportunity presented by a kickoff win, fair enough. Gababy made the most of it, though, and they're continuing now. Took that opening kickoff, and in the first 30 seconds, Syracuse starting off with some more possession, but this will break out for a moment, though they got to be careful now. They lost Oxy on the goal line, and Tiz had an open path, but couldn't tuck the ball underneath the crossbar, and so we'll stay scoreless.
Yeah, almost getting Syracuse their first opening goal of a game here, but again, we'll have Akron down, bearing down, and Jonathan will be the one to put it in. Oxy over to Patty, off of the ceiling, down to Jonathan. Tiz just having to play Patty's extra touch that never ended up coming out. And just a good offensive play all around from Akron there as a team.
Well, they will start the scoring again, as that's how they got us going in game 1. And game 2, actually, did they score first in game 2, or was that Syracuse starting us off? Because I think it was Akron Gold starting, and then Syracuse had to answer.
Yeah, Akron Gold did score first off of the team pinch from Patty and Oxy there.
So they've scored first in all the games so far, but we've seen Syracuse and how they responded to the game 2 opener from Akron Gold, and now it's Akron Gold kind of keeping the pressure on, and Patty getting creative from behind enemy lines. He and Jonathan were both committed. Noxie, his third man, being on the ball. It's a risky touch from Patty if you don't make the most of it, but I don't think Patty's scared of risks, especially in this setting. This is a playground for these players to do what they want on the ball without the risk of an elimination in a tournament. But Tiz here doing what he wants against the Akron Gold defense. Set up by Lesser with a couple of flip resets. But Tiz, man, what a 50.
Yeah, that was a nice pop by Lesser on that last one there. Keeping the ball up for Tiz and then diving ahead, forcing Jonathan to jump a little early as well, which allowed Tiz to get that favorable 50. Almost got another breakaway kickoff goal on a 50 read there, but now it's going to be Akron Gold turning it back around. But again, Syracuse have been able to answer the last couple of games, looking to continue to add just like the last one as well.
Once again, Patty, the third man of Akron Gold, has been lost on that attack by Syracuse, but wasn't a well enough timed demo to set up a goal. And in fact, Syracuse on their back line kind of overextending just a tad, but Defensively, they got Gababy on the goal line. It's usually a recipe for some success, though it's Tiz that finds a save, and now Lesser for an outlet with no boost. Now he charges in, and with superior boost totals and momentum, he makes sure Syracuse stay hemmed in on that goal line, but eventually concede with a back pass towards Patty through that Akron Gold corner, and the Zips have to reset.
And doing a good job, though. That's a 50 win from Patty. Jonathan couldn't get it past Lesser. Patty taking his time. Lesser sees the opening and will take it all the way down. In fact, Baby can't get there quite yet, so Jonathan will be taking it right back up for an Akron Gold attack, trying to break into the lead once more. Patty and Jonathan getting in each other's way a little bit, allows Baby some space, but Jonathan good on the recovery, takes him out, and Lesser's shot saved at the last second by Patty as well. It's getting a little jumpy from the Akron Gold defense, but for now they're doing a good job of keeping it out of the net at the very least.
Yeah, I wonder if they feel like against Syracuse and the pace that the Orange are starting to put up, if they need to be a little bit jumpy and quick to react on some of these plays. Otherwise, Syracuse, if they've got time to develop the chances that they want to, that they just might continue what we saw in Game 2 with the 4 goals scored. But even with that, the pressure in the face of a Baby, he still finds a way out, gets Oxy jumping, but Oxy still recovers and finds a stop. Jonathan will find the clear at the end of that play, so that's nice. Akron Gold right there. Really good sequence and stifling what Syracuse wanted to do with that counterattack, and now they're rewarded with a little bit of possession depending on what Gababy does here against 2 oncoming Zips.
Yeah, Lesser doing a good job of recovering there. That goal, or that ball, was in a very dangerous spot for a goal. Baby just can't get around that one. Tiz another chance, can't get around it quite enough to put it towards the net. Quick counter from Akron Gold now. I mean, I'm trying to do some analysis on these plays, but they're just playing too fast for me to try and keep up on that. And time ticking down, 20 seconds left. Syracuse looking for a chance to get the lead, and we might have the first overtime of the series. Bepic, I don't want to count the chickens just yet because Syracuse is bearing down, but we might have it.
All right, 10 seconds till they hatch. We're pretty darn close, but Lester's on the ball. See how many resets he can chain here. He's got Gababy up in front, but Patty will read where the ball is going, ground it, and there we go. We do have our first overtime of Night Lights Show matches here in 2026, and I do want to shout out Jonathan for what he's doing off the ball right now. I'm loving the demo plays to keep Syracuse thinking about where he might be lurking in the center third when some of these plays are developing. That's a nice little wrinkle to the Akron Gold defense that I think has helped in slow down the Syracuse offensive production here in Game 3. But doesn't mean it's completely stopped as the Orange look to set something up there, but Patty doesn't allow it. Finds Jonathan, in fact, potential shot, but does not get a lot of that ball. And so the Zips come up empty-handed with their first real opportunity of OT.
And now Akron Gold, their own half. Patty down to Jonathan. Going to be stuffed by Gababy at the midfield line here. Trying to reset in the corner and get around these Syracuse attackers. Tiz sets it center. Lesser just had to wait for Oxy to play around with the ball there. Now Gababy has a little bit of space here, some boost as well. 50 center to Tiz, left side, and he will send it through. Had a little bit of space to work with, and they took full advantage.
That mind game from Gababy, baiting Oxy into an unfavorable 50-50 by driving not the ball up the corner wall, but back around it into the challenge. Because Oxy, I think, was ready to follow Gababy up the corner wall right there, and so he's forced into a 50-50 that Gababy is in a better spot for, at least when it comes to doing what he wants to on the ball, forcing it center to Tiz, who puts in the winner. That's the Gababy effect right there. That's what he does for this team. He's so good in the grimy situations, in defense, and 50-50s, and right there, it gets Syracuse the win in overtime. But Akron Gold stepped up in that game sleeper, much improved from Game 2 where they conceded 4.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better job in that last game of stopping the Syracuse offense from really breaking out like they should. And that could also be the step up from Jonathan that we see. I mean, You say he did a lot of work off the ball, but he also did a lot of work on the ball. Six saves, 6 shots, and the only goal for Akron as well. So he's stepping up both on and off the ball and trying to will Akron Gold to some wins here. But unfortunately, the firepower from Syracuse, again, just too much for the Akron Gold defense in this game. But they did a lot better job reading what Syracuse was trying to do with the ball. So going into this next game, we could see them switch it up even just a hair more and then start to find some more open lanes and some more go-to-goal situations here for them.
Get into game 4 now. 2 straight from Syracuse. And hey to everyone in Twitch chat. Maury, I see ya. We're watching some Collegiate Rocket League show matches, and that's the quality we get at the collegiate level of Rocket League these days. Welcome from that Twitch recommended page. Twitch knows what it's doing, giving you a front row seat to Patty's redirect shot right in the face of Syracuse's net. 1-0 Zips.
6 seconds this time. That's the quickest goal that we've had to open up a game here in this series. I mean, it's just been minutes after minutes of scoreless gameplay that we've seen, but Patty had enough of that, opening it up right away, trying to get a second one here. Oxy just can't get to the ball, had no boost left in the tank. Patty, his double just wide of the net, but Jonathan still with control, trying to set it up again. Tiz not going to allow it to reach down to Oxy this time around, and now Baby will send it up, and now Syracuse are going to try and look to get a little bit of offense here in this game.
Well, Patty seems to be off the leash just a little bit here in game 4. A couple of high-quality looks for him. It could very easily be 2-0, and honestly, if we were in the middle of the season right there, I think it is 2-0. I think Patty probably hits that fast-paced double tap instead of being just off to the side. So already a great start for Akron Gold, but here you go, Jonathan. This is exactly what we would see from Akron Gold. A really two-pronged attack. It was Emilio and Jonathan up ahead at times. It can be Oxy and Jonathan at times. Now it's Patty and Jonathan together. Leading the charge for Akron Gold is now they finally put more than 1 goal in across a game, and they've done it in the first minute here, game 4.
Yeah, Jonathan as well doing a good job coming from the orange net and doing that quick turnaround on the ball to the center of the box. Now sending it down to Patty. Baby is going to be in the way, but it seems like Akron Gold is really stepping up their pace of attack here in this game number 4, understanding how Syracuse is playing now and being comfortable with stepping it up even that notch further than what they have been playing at.
Great demo. Oxy's got to react fast now and does so. Was in a proper position to make that save, but Syracuse, it's their turn to start gearing up for a long-haul attack as they're playing monkey in the middle with Akron Gold players at the moment, and Monkeys have finally caught the ball. The breakout for a moment, but Lesser fields it. He's got a ton of boosts going off the ceiling. Won't have any kind of read right there, but with Lesser in that sort of position, I think my heart stopped for Akron Gold there for a moment, but doesn't make any kind of contact, so Syracuse has to be happy with just possession for now.
Yeah, with him up in the air, you almost thought that he might have that angle on that second touch. Jonathan, a great save on that shot there from Lesser. Really having to use the entire length of his car to get just enough around it to keep the momentum from going back into the net. Now trying to turn it into some quick offense here to continue to build on their lead. Patty gonna bring it over to Lesser, has a little bit of space, flip reset down, but Baby on that back wall is too good on the defensive end to be stumped by that one. Now right away, right for himself, the bumper in front of him as well on the last defender. 2 versus 1 there. Oxy did all he could trying to get in the spot. Lesser took him out of the play entirely, and Baby just a clean open lane to the net.
And let me preface this point by saying that Syracuse, this roster at Syracuse, have potentially, 6 total semesters together? We're in the second one of a potential 6. 2 freshmen and maybe the sophomore, putting together a play that is so quintessentially this roster. Maybe makes a great read on the goal line against Patty, who looks dead set on a third goal mechanical play. He makes the perfect read and then immediately moves ahead to set up his teammate for a goal. And now here it's Lesser doing Lesser things through the skies, reset over Patty, backboards his after Oxy commits early, and that's a tie ball game just like that.
And that, Bepic, is why we are saying these aerial plays by Lesser are so dangerous, forcing those Akron Gold players to jump and try and get in the way before anything can happen, because that is what can happen when he has just a little bit of space. The double touches, the flip resets, it's just so beautiful out of the air from him. Now Tiz looking for a little bit of a cheeky musty, didn't get all of it behind it, but just enough to put it dead center of the net past the defense.
And if you didn't catch it there in the replay, Oxy was being absolutely bullied by Lesser right there. Like, along the sideline, he's getting hammered into the back wall, trying to recover to make a read somehow on Tiz's back flip flick. 3-2, and Syracuse have taken this game over. This was a 2-0 Akron Gold advantage to start us out, but the Orange have stormed in front, and now with a minute 20 left, we got to see what Akron's ideas are to get back into this game. And I mean, idea number one has got to be somehow figure it out in defense, how to slow down this Syracuse attack.
Yeah, that's why you can never count out Syracuse in these games, because they can just quick fire offense just like that and just pull some mechanics out of a magic hat, and all of a sudden they're up 1 goal, 2 goals, whatever it may be, in the blink of an eye. And now, I mean, Akron Gold trying to build up some offense again, but the Syracuse, their defensive third is just starting to become a brick wall to break through, and they're just having a very difficult time. Jonathan trying to do it there. Lesser will send it all the way back down. Patty doing all he can to just keep it away from the net. Lesser over to Tiz. Patty just getting a touch on the goal line, though, to keep it out. And Syracuse continuing to try and hunt down that 4th goal. Lesser gonna bring it over to Tiz. Got the favorable read against Patty as well. Keeps it in possession of Syracuse. Akron Gold need to find a way to strip it and turn some offense in here. 10 seconds. Jonathan, quick shot saved by Lesser. Now looking to carry it out to tick that timer down. Tiz into the open space. And just like that, Syracuse are up 3-1 in the series now.
I mean, the pattern that this series is taking on fits, I think, how these games are going. Akron scores first. They win game 1. And now Syracuse are going on a run after looking well improved offensively. I think their defense looked fine in game 1, but offensively, they have started playing that Passion University style. They got Lesser, who individually can create so much space with his seemingly perfect flip reset mechanics, and then Gababy on the back line making saves and then transitioning immediately into an offensive mindset and looking for demos to clear a lane for his team. It's the mindset of winning. It's not individual brilliance out of Gababy when it comes to offense. It's just about getting that goal to win these games. And then Tiz is all over the place, both sides of the ball, ready to make a demo, ready to musty a shot over whoever is the poor soul at the third man for Akron Gold at the time. This is a spectacular looking Syracuse team, and honestly, if you had told me that they had just skipped the winter break completely and stayed grinding the game, I think I'd believe you.
Oh yeah, I'd believe you 100%, because I mean, we saw what Syracuse was doing at the end of fall CRL and this past year, and now just turning it around and making plays like this. I mean, you put it perfectly, Bepic. The way that the games are playing out is just like the series. Akron Gold starts to get a little bit of a foothold, and then Syracuse just playing that Syracuse game and showing why they really are a tough competitor and going to be a team to look out for. But still can't count out Akron Gold, as Patty one more time starts off the scoring here for the Zips.
Hey, I mean, all this compliments heading Syracuse's way, and you forget sometimes that Akron Gold are very much capable at beating this stellar defense and the quick rotations of the Orange. And right there, Patty is showing why his move to the B team, while it may improve the A team, we'll wait to watch them play to see for sure, is certainly going to be a big point for this B team going forward. So if they can figure out how to maximize his ability in this team and how Jonathan and Oxy can play around him effectively, then I think we can be seeing upgrades on both sides of the Akron program, A team and B team. Because so far it's looking okay from Akron Gold. They've still got some things to figure out. The double commits, I'm not a fan of. I think they're trying to play at a pace to keep up with Syracuse's attack that this trio isn't quite comfortable with just yet. And it's turned into some ugly, messy rotations. But, man, you can see in real time Patty's role in this offense develop, because he can still take over a lobby.
Lesser, a little bit of space there, but Patty back in time on the recovery to stop the counterattack. Oxy trying to poke it out, but Lesser, again, just being a nuisance, taking it right to the ceiling, will be stripped away by Jonathan this time around, however. But yeah, like you mentioned, Bepic, Akron Gold, maybe just give them a little bit more time to figure out their gameplay together, and they can be a very dangerous team as well. That's no doubt about it. I mean, all three are very solid players individually. We know what Oxy and Jonathan can do together, and adding Patty into this rotation, it's just some great plays that they can really come up with. But we'll just have to see and wait for that to develop a little bit, because, again, fresh to teaming with each other, although their team has been rotated around a little bit with people being busy during certain events, but we know what Akron as an entire program is capable of, and really, if they're able to slot in and fit that final puzzle piece together, it can be a very dangerous team. I'm not wanting to speculate, but I feel like they can make a good run at top 16 if they put that final puzzle piece in very soon here.
I mean, TJ and I did preseason rankings that we didn't actually get to talk about on the podcast. We ran out of time, so we'll save it for next week. But I had Akron Gold at number 16. I am a big believer in this team. I was a big believer in this team before they picked up Patty. I think their run of form at the end of the fall semester showed a lot of what they can do, and what is going to be Jonathan's last semester. I can't believe we're into Game 5 and I haven't mentioned this yet, but Jonathan graduates at the end of this semester. So for all the time and effort he's put into the CRL scene, this is his last time to really make a big splash and have another marquee LAN run or CRL performance if we do get CRL back in its fall form. So I know he's motivated this semester, and I'm sure Oxy and Patty alongside him are motivated to have that sort of to have the preparation that'll set them up for those sort of runs. But at the moment, Syracuse and the young guns are taking it to them. Though, once again, the Zips have scored first, and with a minute 20 left, this is looking a little bit more like Game 1.
Yeah, still 1-0 here off of the first goal, and within 13 seconds, we've gone 3.5 minutes scoreless since then. But it's just been back and forth, and that is pretty crazy to think about in Bepic, this being Jonathan's last semester, because you think of Jonathan, he's been a cornerstone of this Akron Gold squad for quite a while now. It'll be a little weird seeing Akron Gold without Jonathan's name attached to it going forward, but I'm excited for his last semester, seeing what he can do with the squad around him to really break out that one final time. But they're going to try and find a way to at least bring this series back and try and find a way to clutch it up here. 30 seconds remaining, still doing a good job of stifling the Syracuse offense, although they are a little bit in a precarious position here. Boost totals low, a little bit of awkward spots. Syracuse starting to set up that offense, but still Akron doing a great job of sending it away time and time again.
Oh, Patty hung back on that one. Lesser Psycho off his own back wall actually gets Syracuse back into a spot to tie us up. And on 0 seconds, Lesser kicked it off with the Psycho. Finishes it with a shot just underneath the crossbar as Gababy fakes it to give him space. And Patty can't make the read. Let's keep playing.
Zero room for error on that shot, because it could have been barred down or it could have been barred directly into Patty's car and out, but instead it was barred in the net. Tied game. Somehow we have overtime here in this one, and Syracuse, baby, trying to get them into that offensive half and try and steal this game out from Akron Gold. Almost do it there, but that time it is barred out of the net. Patty bringing it forward. Jonathan, a good 50 to keep it going towards the orange half, but unfortunately right into the hands of Tiz. Jonathan again trying to send it out, but they got Lesser on the ball to deal with now. Patty doing a good job rating him and keeping that one out, trying to get some offense themselves. Water falling down. Baby not going to allow that one to get anywhere close, and I'm still surprised we're playing this game, Bepic.
Yeah, that's what Syracuse does. They know how to shock, but Patty almost grabbed the overtime win. Bit more Rocket League than the Zips were expecting, but they can still get themselves out of this situation as Oxy dives on top of Gababy. Does not want to give him space and time to set something up out in front because he has been the setup man for Syracuse, but Lesser can still finish things off a minute into overtime. This would be the end of the series if Syracuse score next. Gababy goes back wall, sets up Tiz to go back wall. He misses, and Lesser doesn't commit as the third man. We still got an opening, and that's just it. Lesser, he gets us into overtime and ends the series a minute 26 later. Syracuse 4-1.
I mean, just such good offensive showing from Syracuse there with a couple of shots to force those rotations on the defensive end of Akron to be a little bit wider than normal. And then you have Lesser on the ball, who's been pulling out the mechanics everywhere, but this time he did not. He just brought it right to goal. Probably not what Akron Gold was expecting, and it was just right into the back of the net. And Syracuse, they put the game on ice and they end the series in quite dramatic fashion.
I mean, about as dramatic as you can get. An overtime forced on 0 seconds, and that play started with a psycho, mind you. Like, we all freak out when a psycho is scored for good reason because it's insane, but I think a psycho that sets up the possession on 0 seconds to send us to overtime is actually works out. We should freak out about that almost as much. Not quite as insane, but I mean, Lesser actually basically hit what is a step below an actual psycho goal, and that's on 0 seconds to force an overtime that gives Syracuse the win. And we are going to have an interview sleeper. It looks like, well, we got, I think, both Tiz and Lesser in the in the booth, so let's just drag them both in. Why not? Let's get him in here. So I'm gonna drag the both of them in. Oh shit. Hey, welcome, boys. I'm gonna drag you both in.
Hello. How's it going?
Great. How's it going on your end?
Well, I get to play with Tiz, so it's great.
Hell yeah.
All right. Keep the cursing to a minimum if you can. I know that's an exciting way to finish the series, but all right, Lesser, I gotta start. First question with you. 0 second goal in Game 5. You start with a psycho. Were you going for the score on the psycho? Was it just setting up possession what you were going for the whole time?
I mean, I was just throwing. I hit the ball, and then I was kind of just going from there. But I don't think you're ever going to score a psycho in 3v3, especially if the team is defending the net. So just glad my teammates trust me when I go for that.
Yeah, definitely afforded you the space to do what you do. And I mean, Tiz and Lesser, it's the first show match of the season here on Bepic against a quality squad like Akron Gold. How has the offseason been preparing for this new season of CRL in the new year?
It's been good. We just started scrimming again. You know, all of us are playing on RFCS, so all of us are warmed up. Ours are back up, 120 fast 2 loaded, and ready to go.
Yeah, loading it back up for the new season. Passion University dubbed for a reason. How does this win feel against Akron Gold? I mean, winning the way that you did.
I think it feels good, and especially a team that's, I feel like, not trying to be egotistical, but we should be beating them. So beating them 4-1 and convincingly definitely helps us get better as a team and definitely gets our confidence up for the rest of the season.
You also got the win in PEC against Michigan State. I know that one had to feel good. I watched them last week. I'm expecting an okay back and forth. You guys definitely should have been the better team with them losing Drewy and trying to figure it back out with Knock. But I mean, you came out and decimated them. And honestly, I thought you guys had just stayed grinding the entirety of the break. So Tiz, you're saying that you guys just now started scrimming again? Because after these last two performances, you guys look to be in pretty stellar form.
Yeah, we're looking good. Getting the hours back up, it was tough because Russell and Gababy weren't able to really play that much over break, but now we're getting back at it and ready to kill it.
Last question then. I mean, unless you can answer this one, or you guys can both answer this one because you might have different goals in mind. But where do you guys see the peak of this team being? Because I think like top 15, you guys, it's around where you guys finished or so in the rankings. And I'm curious with the good form you've got when you're just now getting back into grinding, how far up the ladder do you think you can go this semester?
I mean, I think we showed it last semester. I mean, I think top 8 is extremely doable. I mean, we were one series away from qualifying for CRL last semester, and so I mean, I think we have one of the best upset potentials as an entire team in all of CRL. We just need to work on getting some of our consistency against teams around our level, and then once we do that, I think sky's the limit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the same. I think I'm gonna even change. I think we have the highest upset potential in CRL. I think. Yeah. If we are on, we can beat literally anybody. It just comes to us. I mean, we're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna start grinding again, and we'll make it. Top 8's the goal, and we should do it. But we'll try our best.
Hey, crazy start to begin the semester. We're still in January. You've already beaten a couple top 20 teams. So, fellas, congrats on the win. Thanks for playing tonight. Go enjoy the victory.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
You too. You too. All right, Sleeper, that does it for our first show match. I know you're only on for one tonight, but pretty exciting way to kick off the CRL spring season. I think it's safe to say that we are very much back in action. We got NECC tomorrow. We got CRL show matches tonight. PEC's already going. SCL's going. Feels good to be back, doesn't it?
It's so wonderful to be back. I can't believe the series is already over. It seems like it's gone by in the blink of an eye, and that's how you know that you're excited when 45 minutes feels like 10, 15 at that. But I'm excited for these show matches to be back. It's always wonderful you allowing me to be here with you, Bepic, to cast these matches and just watch these teams compete against each other. And I'm excited going forward the rest of the semester.
Well, we are really going forward now, but got to take a short break before we do get into our next series. It's Florida Southern with K-Frost now in the roster, taking on Michigan State with Drew Egon Knock back in a starting position on the A-team. You got any predictions you want to throw down, Sleeper? We got some extra minutes if you want to toss a prediction our way.
I'm not too sure. I don't know enough about Florida Southern, but with the addition of K-Frost, they're definitely going to be a good roster. But for this first show match, I'm gonna put my eggs in the basket of Michigan State here because they've played together before. They know how to play with each other, just getting back into that groove a little bit. I think it's going to be Michigan State by a narrow margin, probably not as wide as the Syracuse Akron Gold match. It might go a little bit further the distance, but I'm going to eke it out to Michigan State in that series there.
Definitely favorites, but we'll see what kind of fight Florida Southern can put up now with the Astro Utility K-Frost roster being debuted, yesterday technically, but against the top CRL team tonight. We'll see what happens after a short break. Stick around, more Tuesday Night Lights action in just a little bit.